Okay, I'm going to show you my install of the new BRP Apache BackCountry tracks. As you can see, first thing I did is I took off the ricochet aluminum skid plates, and I've been wanting to do what I finally ended up doing for about 5 years. I finally ended up doing it this last summer. I made wintertime skid plates for the snow out of this material that's like HP WDE or whatever it is, because the snow sticks so bad to the aluminum. I get all kinds of ice buildup, and the snow won't stick to this. And then I'll show you later, I made covers for the sides so the frame doesn't get full. Okay, in this segment of the track installation, I'm going to install the track module. Okay, first thing you got to do is you got to remove the side cover. Kind of a pain, but this is when I do my maintenance, change the oil filter, change the gearbox oil. So you got to take the floorboard and the side panel off anyway, but the track module is pretty handy. It corrects your speedometer and odometer, and it gives you, supposed to give you some more assistance with your power steering. Personally, I recommend it. So okay, what you do is you take your 6-plug diagnostic plug, and I modified mine, and it's usually attached right here. I took it off so I could play with it if I wanted. Pull the wire bundle down through the wires, then you plug this into the track module. Then you need to run this back up through here. So just kind of take your time, work it through the, it's a little tight, but it comes up. Put the diagnostic plug cap back on, and yours will probably already be in a holder, and I get mine back like that. And then what you do is you attach the track module to this bracket right here. I guess you can bolt it. They give you a bolt and a nut. Let me see how much of a pain that's going to be. I've usually just zip tied it, but maybe I'll try and bolt it this time. Anyway, once you get it bolted down, you put the side cover back on, put your cowling back on and your dash cover, and that's all there is to it. Enjoy trekking. Alright, I had the video where I bolted the tracks on the bike, and I had to leave for a few days for a family Christmas thing. So today I'm gonna make the video. I'll show you installing the brackets, the mounting brackets. Okay, the front's pretty self-explanatory. It's just like most other track systems. You have the bracket that goes on the bottom of the A-frame and the cross member that bolts it down. They have a U-bolt that goes around here, and this is the anti-rotation rod with the spring inside. This has this Can-Am one comes with a plastic piece you're supposed to put on right here that kind of goes in front of this CV boot, but I don't think I'm going to put that on. I haven't had anything like that on my other tracks, and I haven't had any issues. And the snow that builds up in here, to me, that's just going to make it harder to clean it out, so we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to kind of get started. What's nice about this is a 30mm nut, and this is provided in the Can-Am provided you the 30mm socket. But what's surprising is they didn't include installation instructions. So I found them on the Can-Am site, downloaded them, and then printed them off. So I have a reference. This is the steering limiter cable, and I'll install that later. Anyway, that's the front bracket. It goes on pretty easy. Okay, now I'll get started on the back. Okay, these are the parts for the rear anti-sway bars. The first thing you have to do, this rubber stopper is mounted on top of this, and for 2016 and older, you need to take this off, and I'm telling you, that is a bugger. That must have taken me 2 hours, because the bolts are up inside here. The nuts, they got nuts, and I couldn't get a wrench on them. But I finally got it. Probably if you had the right tools. Okay, the first thing you do by the instructions is you have these covers right here on this square part of your frame. The instructions say to take this off on both sides, and they're hooked to a strap that goes all the way across. And on my bike, it has like some moldings to make it like if there was a tube or something to go across there, and I could not get that out because it has a lip that goes across the top, and I was afraid I might put a hole in my fuel tank, so I broke them off. Then I just zip tied them around the frame. Okay, this goes inside that tube. So once you take those caps off, you got to clean that tube out. As you can see, it's got threads that'll bolt that on. So I loosen these up, and you slide this in, and hopefully it goes fairly easy. Once you get this in though, you could leave this in. You wouldn't have to take this out. So see what I'm supposed to torque it down to. Okay, I got the rear bracket for the anti-sway bar, anti-rotation rod to hook up to. After I got that piece installed in the square tube, install this nut, and you install this bracket against the frame with a high part up and this cutout down at the bottom, and you use the H bolts or U bolts and you tighten them down. I had to loosen my shock to get it up and then ratchet it because of the gas shock, and ratchet it up so there wasn't any pressure on this when I tightened it up. Yeah, that's right up against there. So I won't be doing any I guess it keeps the suspension from extending too far with the weight of the tracks and maybe busting something, so it's probably a good thing. Okay, but there it is. Okay, I got the tracks back on. Now I'm going to hook up the rear anti-rotation rods. Start by doing the upper. I have a bolt and a short spacer, rubber washer, steel washer, long spacer, and a nut. As you can see, that's the way it goes. So, and then in the rear, it has a I can't remember what it's called, but it goes right there. Steel washer, rubber washer, and the nut. Okay, so let me get this started. Okay, that's the initial, but I still have a final adjustment to do. Okay, moving on to the next one. Well, there's the anti-rotation rods. What you have to do to adjust them is jack the bike up and put it on 2x4s. And then you turn this, you take this off the rod and turn it till it slips on the spacer easy, and then you give it 3 more turns to shorten it, and then you jack the bike up just a little and it slides right on, and you torque it down. And the torque on this nut and that nut up there is 63 foot-pounds, and this nut I got to torque it down to 85. So that's all I got left, and then I'll move on to the front. Pretty cool. Almost getting it done. Okay, on to the front. Well, I got the front anti-rotation rods all installed and adjusted. Got the steering stop cables installed. If I wanted, right now I could go riding. But I got a couple more things to do. I want to put my winter hand guards on, and I made some fender flare. As you can see, these tracks stick out. I mean, the tattoos threw stuff all over, So these are probably even worse. So I made some fender flares. You can buy some, but I thought I'd make some. Okay, that's installing the brackets. One more thing and then I'll show you how it looks. Here it is, all done. As you can see, I made some fender flares. Can-Am sells some, but I decided to make some. I hope it'll keep some of the snow off, but I'll have to see if I like it. Can't tell too much from the side. Oh, tearing the grass up. Let's see how it does. I just used the plastic push pins. I bought a whole bunch from Amazon, so I can take it on and off fairly easy. I thought about riding a time or two without the fender flares, but what the heck, I made them, I'll try them. If I don't like them, I'll take them off. Okay, that's the installation of the mounting brackets and other stuff. I hope the next video is one of me riding.